Can you bring a personal injury lawsuit against your employer if you're injured on the job? Well, the short answer is probably not. Generally, employers are required to have workers' compensation insurance, and what that means is if you are injured while you're on the job, the work comp insurance is going to pay for your injuries. It'll pay for your medical bills, it'll pay for lost earnings if you miss some work, it may pay for disability if you were disabled. It's probably not going to pay for pain and suffering. But anyway, what happens with workers' comp is if you are injured on the job, it will pay. So this means if you're injured on the job and it's your own fault, it'll pay. If you're injured on the job and it's your employer's fault, it'll pay. So why would the employer be paying for your injuries even if it was not the employer's fault? Well, it's the result of sort of a bargain that happened many years ago. And it was this exchange where the employers agreed to pay workers' comp, whether somebody's injured on the job by their own fault or by their employer's fault. In exchange, the employee is not allowed to sue the employer for personal injuries. So what happens is if you're injured on the job, you're probably not going to be able to bring a personal injury lawsuit against your employer, and maybe your injuries are more than what workers' compensation pays. So then what do you do? Well, possibly nothing, but if there is another product, person, entity at fault for your injuries that's not your employer, there's nothing in the workers' compensation law that says you cannot sue them. So for example, if you're on the job at a construction site, you're going up a ladder, the ladder breaks, you fall down, you're injured, your employer is going to pay for your injuries because it occurred while you're on the job. And so it's a work-related injury and workers' comp pays it. But then you think, aha, somebody made a lousy ladder. Let's go check out this ladder. And if you look at the ladder and there's a product defect, you can bring a lawsuit against the manufacturer of the ladder for a product defect. Similarly, if you're a employee out doing deliveries, and you are, hit in a car accident by somebody who's at fault, well, yeah, your medical bills and such are going to be picked up by your employer because it's a workers' comp claim. But if you're looking for, say, pain and suffering, maybe your employer didn't pay all of your damages, you can file a lawsuit against the at-fault driver as well. So stay safe while you're out there. And if you do have a major injury, you may look and see if there might be somebody to make a claim against other than your employer.